Okay, how about now? Can you hear that? Yeah, okay, sorry everybody. So sorry about that. Hello! Hello to Josh, you were first. Hello to Goober, you were second. Hello to Soda, third after that. Hello to Lucius or Luscious, I'm not good at reading, fourth. 85th, Brady 6th, Cameron 7th, and then Ethan Jorgensen 8th. I did all the numbers. I did not have the audio. I'm sorry. It still had the old settings from when I was streaming with Liam, and I was trying to figure out what had happened. But actually, it wasn't any of that. It was the USB port was not picking up that my mic was plugged in. So we tried a different USB port, and now it's there. So, wasn't me. Sorry. It was my laptop's crappy USB port not wanting to work. But we solved the problem. For better or for worse, we're here now. Hello, everybody. Welcome. I hope you had a great Monday. I basically talked about how I was hoping everybody was having a good day for the better part of the beginning of the stream. But of course, that was not picked up on by the stream itself. So now I'm here and you are here and we are speaking together, having a nice exchange. I am so sorry about that. Thank you for your patience as I worked through that minor technical issue. I do appreciate it. We'll just ignore all of that and dive into today's project, which is continuing the highlights as we work to finish off these bugs. Adepticon is fast approaching, and while many might say it is next month, what have you to fear? I am a person who does not like to do things at the last minute if I can at all avoid doing them that way. So, I must make all of my preparations far ahead of time and hopefully avoid stress while at the convention. All of current Fives' efforts will pay off for future Fives, and that's an exciting thing. I was talking though, I was like, I know I streamed with Liam just the other day, but it feels like I haven't talked to you guys in a little while, because, you know, with the co-streams, I don't get to find out how you guys are doing. I don't pay as much attention to the chat, because I'm interacting with my co-host at the time, which is very fun and I love doing, but I hope that all of you guys are doing well. I feel like I haven't asked you what you were working on or caught up with your hobby projects in a little while, so I'm gonna do that now. What have you got on your hobby tables tonight? Obviously, you can see what I've got on mine. There's a joke in there about I'm showing you mine, so tell me in the chat what your hobby project is, but I don't know if I've got that all together for me. Hello, Atomic Topher. Yeah, Soda. How are you gonna feel when I show up to learn Necromunda with a painted squad and you are just like, yeah, mine are mostly gray because I had to build 10 million tanks? You think I'm gonna accept tanks as an excuse? No, paint your minis. I'm usually not that aggressive, sorry. I don't know what came over me. You can do what you want. Oh, is my audio skipping? Please let me know if anyone else is having audio issues. I want to know. Because I can, like, adjust some settings. Okay, Soda says he is not having audio skips. So Cameron, maybe try refreshing the page. We have 1 for and 1 and 2, I'll say 1.5 against. Okay. Cameron, you're gonna be a little delayed. That's fine. I can live with that. Someone said they DM'd me about their hobby project. Did you send that on Instagram? Yes, maybe? I don't know. I don't have any DMs on Discord. What's the playlist today? We are back to Grocery Store Music 1975 today. I figure we start out there, and we'll see where it takes us. We'll see where it takes us. I'm just trying to get some progress in. I'm hoping to finish one of these guys off tonight, maybe, and then feel satisfied with that progress so that I can sit back and watch the latest episode of The Last of Us, which I still use as motivation to get through a tough Monday. So, we'll see how that works out. Certainly see how that works out. Alright, Topher. Alright. I will disregard that particular message, but I won't disregard you entirely. I like having you around on these streams. Lobster also apparently likes having you around on these streams because he's scratching his little face against my laptop. Ooh, you're painting up the last of your 40 Blood Angel Tactical Marines for 30k. Okay, cool. I'm not much of a Space Marine person. I don't know if you noticed that from my entire vibe, but Space Marines are interesting in their lore. I just wish that, like, the designs of their models looked a little bit different sometimes. I can't remember. Are Blood Angels the one with Pretty Boy Sanguinius as their guy? Their mascot? Their chief of police? What is it called? There's a fake made-up word that I'm not remembering right now. Someone say the word. Okay, you said yep. So I guess they're all stands for Pretty Boy Sanguinius. He seems pretty cool, except I believe Sanguinius killed my boy Cabantha, which I don't particularly appreciate. I also don't particularly appreciate the fact that I could not afford that model, and I would very much like to. This is not a Nurgle Space Marine focused channel. I'm sorry. If you want Nurgle Space Marine focused channels, there are so many that you can find. I will not be serving up that particular content. It doesn't hold my interest, so I can't very well make content where I sound excited about painting Nurgle Space Marines if I don't feel very excited about painting Nurgle Space Marines. I'm not gonna lie to you, that sounds like hell to me. More and more hinges on this Malifaux game at Adepticon, because if I lose I have to paint Nurgle. I guess, Soda, you and I don't have a standing wager on our Necromunda game because I just want to learn how to play Necromunda. We haven't made any silly little bets on that. I don't know if we should. That'll make me more intimidated, and I'm already pretty intimidated with Necromunda as a whole. But you will see me painting up some silly things on these bugs because I want to make their shells kind of reminiscent of sesame seed burger buns, so I find a lot of places to just put on sesame seeds. You can kind of see it on this guy. That's basically the look. I really like these big, dead, weird cartoon eyes that I painted on the last bug, so we're going to be keeping that look, I think. Kind of look like they could be weird McDonald's characters, so that's what we're sticking with tonight. You don't want to make a bet about a game that you're just teaching. The bet is, I bet you will have fun. That's a good bet. I like that bet. Those are stakes I can get behind. I know everybody here is gonna pretend like they're proud when I win that game of Malifaux, but they're all gonna be secretly disappointed that I didn't lose, because they all kind of wanted to see me paint Nurgle, so... I know you're cheering against me and not for me in this particular matter. Yes, I know that Burger King has seeded buns and not McDonald's. However, it just helps communicate the theme of them being burgers, I think. And, you know, takes away from just brown as an entire color. So much of my working with food, unfortunately, involves me painting tons and tons of brown, which can get a little boring to look at, so I like to shake it up where I can. I mean, I would paint a fruit or vegetable themed miniature. I just think, again, that those themes are harder to communicate than some of the sweeter foods. I think having a carrot themed army would be kind of funny. I feel like you could do that relatively easily. But I just like painting things to be all sugary and sweet. It's certainly an aesthetic that I will carry with me for a good long time. I don't know that, I'll be able to stream that game live from Adepticon or anything. I also don't know where exactly Mark and I will have our Malifaux showdown, but, like, if it's back in the hotel at some point, then yeah, I could probably stream that. But we'll see what happens. We haven't exactly worked out all the details. I'm certainly excited for it, but I need to make sure that Mark doesn't win. And if that means aggressively watching Learn to Play and Malifaux strategy videos, like, hey, they gotta do what they gotta do. I mean, I don't want to lose this one, because I know Mark's gonna be like, well, now you have to paint a Great Unclean One. And not only is that using the budget that I would prefer to use on another Titan towards a Nurgle thing, I also particularly detest the Great Unclean One. He's so gross. No, I will not be wearing a GoPro. No, none of that. Come on now. We all know I operate with one phone camera that often is close to running out of battery. You really expect me to have upgraded my setup by the time that Adepticon rolls around? No, sir. No, ma'am. No, captain. Not me. I really do love these stupid generic background music playlists. I don't know if that just means I'm, like, getting old or something, or if I just want to feel like an NPC some days. And this is just, you know, this is just essentially the Traverse Town music of my particular workshop, that I can just have this going. I'm trying to think of what fun stories I have to tell you guys. I'm full of them. I've started playing Magic the Gathering. Cameron taught me how to play, and I built my own deck. And then I ordered the cards for that deck. Which, I just gotta say, can we talk a second about how much easier it is to learn Magic the Gathering, and other games probably too, than it is to learn Warhammer? Warhammer has so many stupid, complicated rules, and you have to buy like 8 rulebooks just to learn a single game of anything. Magic the Gathering, you can have a very basic deck with a simple mechanic, and all of the rules are printed on the cards. Like, that's that's way easier to cope with. And I understand that they're two different types of games trying to accomplish two different things, but still, it is astounding when you're comparing how difficult it is to get into something like Warhammer to something as easy as, like, here is exactly what you need to buy, and you can get a perfectly functional deck for, like, $10. That's crazy. I picked out cards based on if I liked the picture on them, and even got some ones that were like, ooh, this is... Like, I was looking at the prices, and they had ones with art that I liked better, or ones that were shiny, and I thought, you know, oh, all the very fancy ones are gonna cost $10 million, but it was like, oh, the shiny version of this is 35 cents as opposed to 25 cents, and I was like, that's nothing. You can get an entire deck of Magic the Gathering cards for less than the cost of a single box of Warhammer miniatures. And yeah, it sucks because they're, you know, cards and not little plastic guys, but there's something to be said for that. There's something to be said for that. Magic feeling cheap can only come from playing Warhammer. Listen, I am deep in whatever kind of over-monetized hypnosis these companies have me in, but I'm also definitely not playing Magic for the meta. Cameron can verify that I've not made many strategic decisions, and I have in fact just decided on, oh, this card is very cute. Elder Fiver just wants grocery store music. It's true. I like painting, though. Oh, yeah. Don't you worry, Atomic Topher. There's no fear of me turning into a card game channel. I love painting. That is where the focus of this is going to stay, so... yeah. I just think it's nice to occasionally step outside of the Games Workshop bubble, or even the wargaming in general bubble, and learn that things don't have to be nearly as complicated all of the time. Hello, Rothian. How are you today? How are you this evening? Working on anything cool? As you can see, I am still making some decent progress on these little bug guys. They will be ready for Adepticon. If I keep telling myself I can get them ready for Adepticon, they will get there. I have to remind myself to go to the dollar store sometime soon, so I can get, I need to get, like, a bin to transport my knight in that I can try and put magnety stuff on. Oh, well, good morning, then. I don't know what time it is for you, but it is 7:01 p.m. for me, so definitely not time for me to be going to bed just yet. Just trying to finish up one of these bugs. I think I'll probably highlight them all individually, so... You know, I'll have this guy and then 3 more to do. And then I'll do the basing all in one big batch. But then they'll be ready to go. I will also have to decide on their names, which will be difficult. But we'll get there in the end. Oh, same time zone. Sweet. Okay, that leg's looking pretty good. Move on to the next one. Trying to think, what else do I have to update you on? I think I told you that I've started playing Dark Souls 3 with my friend Adam. We're playing that together, and it's been pretty fun. We just defeated Aldrich Saint of the Deep, who was pretty cool. And I joined the Covenant of the Dark Moon, which was also pretty cool. They're like ghostly, half dragon, half lady kind of leader. Seems pretty interesting. In that way that any FromSoft character seems pretty interesting, and that they give you a couple lines of dialogue, and you're like, yeah, you seem okay. You seem alright. Then you're gonna learn something like really messed up about their past later in an item description, and it'll just be like, yep, that's certainly happening. I'm having a good time though, and I feel like that's what the most important part of playing any game with a friend is. Just running around being rambunctious together. I've certainly died to a lot of enemies, but that's, you know, that's just any FromSoft game. I'm kind of debating what game I should play next afterwards, because I kept saying I wouldn't buy Stray until I beat Elden Ring, and I've beat Elden Ring now. So I'm thinking about getting that one, but then I watched Midwinter Mini's latest video today, and he was talking about a game called Atomic Heart that's going to be coming out, or is already out, but it looked pretty cool. Gave me kind of like, not exactly BioShock, but like I feel like it would have the same sort of mechanic with like one of your hands having superpowers and the other being not superpowered, which isn't fair to like credit as solely a BioShock thing, but I like just watching the gameplay, I kind of got that feeling from it. So I don't know if that's accurate or not. It might not be. I don't know too much about game design, but it looked kind of interesting, so I'm considering picking that one up. I'm not above being influenced now and again. Somehow cat hairs have like gotten on this miniature, which I don't really understand how they got there, but that's okay. Sure. Let's get those off of there. Everything in this house gets cat hair on it sooner or later. It is an inevitability. I'm afraid that's just the belly of the beast, the nature of what we're dealing with here. There we go. Alright, that looks pretty good. Diet BioShock, so Dragon Age. When you booted up Steam, it looked like it was already out. Okay. For whatever reason, when I checked it on PlayStation, it was like, pre-order this game. So I don't know if maybe the PlayStation version isn't out yet, and the Steam version is. I'm not saying go buy the game. This is not an endorsement by me. It was just merely, I'm curious if this is going to end up being cool or not, so. I have not played it and cannot verify. There are games that I would say, if you haven't played them, you should, and those games are BioShock, Night in the Woods, and Little Nightmares. I like all of those games very much. I think they're very cool. Also, Animal Crossing. And I would tell you to buy Hamtaro Ham Heartbreak, because that's the first game I ever beat, but I don't think it's on most relevant platforms at this time. Tell you what, though. If they do any kind of remaster of that I can play on Switch or PlayStation, I will totally figure out how to stream, and you guys can all experience Hamtaro with me. I think that would be a fun stream that 4 people would watch as background noise. Cat hair makes the best highlights to minis when you think so many painters have cats. Yeah, a lot of painters do have cats. So I'm sure that cat hair has ended up on more miniatures than not. I'm gonna still do my best to keep it out of this particular batch of miniatures. Just the same. You're waiting for multiplayer to come to Hamtaro. That's fair. We'll do some co-op mode. I mean, occasionally you'd get another hamster to run around with, if I'm not mistaken. But I don't think it was 2-player. At least I don't recollect it being 2-player. I think it being primarily a Game Boy game might have limited that significantly. If you do have a favorite Hamtaro character, though, let me know, and you can play as that one. Unless we happen to pick the same character, in that case, we will simply have to fight to the death. But I'll let you make your selection first. Hector has made his selection known. Unfortunately, I don't speak cat, so I can't understand what it is. Hi, baby. Hello. 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 Hamtaro online. Yes. Listen, it probably still has a fan base. I don't know. I just recall with fondness it being the first video game that I ever beat. Ooh, I did also... I can't remember if I've talked about this on stream or not before, but I ran a Dungeons and Dragons session for the first time in ages. I was DMing a campaign again. I ran a campaign for Lila and her husband, and I had such a good time being in the DM's chair yet again. That was a whole lot of fun. Hector screaming Hamtaro. No, he'd probably like Boss or Panda best. Feel like one of those would be Hector's ham of choice. It's really nice, though. I forgot how much I missed running D&D campaigns and having players come up against something and being horrified by it or spooked or not knowing exactly what it was. But just being able to, like, describe eldritch horrors and do a bit of recreational storytelling, it's quite fun. I really need to make sure that I step up about being a DM, even though I get a ton of anxiety right before game time and always just kind of want to call off a session because I'm nervous about it. I shouldn't, because I have a really great time. After that, you know, you take a breath, you settle in, you get everybody in the mood, and yeah, you're just playing the game. It's great. Ooh, okay, don't tell me anything, Josh. I haven't finished watching. I haven't started the new episode yet. I'm watching it after the stream. I save them for Mondays because I like having motivation to get through the hardest day of the week and then be rewarded with one of the most, I'm sure it's still one of the most fantastic hours of television this year. They've just kept putting out solid episodes, so I'm sure this week's will be no different. I'm just highlighting up these little dragons. They're purple, which I think is great because they kind of look like Grimace. This guy has so many little pets, which is great because I think canonically in Necromunda there's like a guy who can sell pets for your other guys to have. I don't remember what he's called. I don't know anything about him. I just know that he exists. We save them for Mondays. Mm-hmm. Oh, you need to plan for your D&D session? I need to plan for my D&D session, too. I don't know if I need to like, speed paint any more miniatures. I probably do. I have to see what my players will next be up against. We had some combat last time, and I got to describe... Because I'm playing, I'm running Steinhardt's Guide to the Eldritch Hunt, which is a Bloodborne-inspired campaign that I backed on Kickstarter, and honestly, it's still an alpha, so I'm running this off a PDF that is still in the works. But the story is just so fun and compelling, and I get to introduce two people who have absolutely zero concept of the world of Bloodborne at all, to some of the things that I experienced going through Yharnam and all for the first time, and that's just so much fun. I even got to put my calligraphy skills to use, so I've been handing out cryptic notes that they find on corpses and stuff like that, so you know I had to do a whole Seek Pale Blood to Transcend the Hunt note for them. Couldn't not do that, even though it's not canonically in the module. I couldn't consider myself a true fan of Bloodborne if I wasn't leaving cryptic notes. It's just what you do. I don't really know a great way of highlighting cloth, so I'm just gonna go with whatever my brain says is correct for now, and hopefully it comes out looking pretty decent. If it doesn't, well, it'll still be a painted model. And I can lie about being satisfied with the results. No, I didn't sign all the notes. I've left cryptic symbols on them instead. I did, on my first Bloodborne playthrough, I did leave messages all over Yharnam. All of them just say, don't give up on them, because I had a really hard time going through there myself, so... All of my notes, everyone that I've left in Bloodborne says, don't give up. Which was great, because I opted to replay some of Bloodborne a little while ago when I was having a tough time, and I'd forgotten that I'd left all of those notes. It was very sweet to just see my past self encouraging my future self to not give up on anything. I had a little moment where I just smiled to myself and was appreciative of something I had done in the past in a way I don't know that I'd ever really felt before, so that was quite neat. I hope that I forget that I've done that again, so that the next time I return to Bloodborne I can be surprised by it, which is likely to happen. I don't know when I'll next go back to that game, but I'm sure I'll come back at some point. Favorite games deserve to be played over and again. There's a V on all the notes, so it's a tough one to crack. No, I have a proper signature that does not contain a V. Well, I mean, no, it doesn't even contain the letter V, which would be in Fiverr. It's more the number 5 and an R, so... Which was how I initially was going to spell my name, but you can't legally spell with, numbers, at least not in the United States of America. So alas, I went with a conventional spelling. Silly me. Past 5s and present 5s solidarity. Future 5 still damaged with an eye patch and a lollipop cigarette. I like that. Makes me think I'd be like a pirate. In terms of videos, I am still working on the next video to put out. I know it's been a little while since I did a proper one. I've just, you know, the night takes so long to paint, and I'm trying to get stuff finished up for Adepticon, that I haven't been putting as much time into it as I would like to. So sorry about that. Unfortunately, having a full-time job just limits the amount of time I have to put into stuff that I really enjoy making. But no, I'm thinking of it, and often wish I could be working on videos when I have to be working on other stuff in order to, like, survive. You know? It's in my thoughts, even if it isn't in what I'm able to get accomplished that day. And I think that counts for something. Not sure what exactly, but I'm gonna say it counts for something. Banners are looking pretty good. You'd hardly know that one of them snapped off and I had to kit bash a replacement. Elon Musk learned you can't spell with numbers. Yeah, he did learn that. Becomes a pirate in a Scoops Ahoy costume. You'd actually crack up. One of my first ever projects in animation school was to design a vehicle of some kind, and it had to have at least one wheel. So I made a banana boat that was like a big old Jungle Cruise kind of looking boat, but it had a big old water wheel that powered it. That was like, all of the paddles on it were like little scoops, little spoons, and the boat itself was like kind of a banana split dish. Now, this was one of my first 3D modeling projects, so the actual model in and of itself is pretty crummy, but I do like the fact that stands to reason that it would be kind of the same if I were ever to become a pirate of any sort, or draw Starboy as a pirate. I could just sort of revamp that design and see what could be improved there. This cloth might be getting a little bit more pink than red, but we're gonna roll with it. We're not gonna be mad about that. We're just gonna live with it. I know that you can, like, do something with mixing orange in instead to kind of keep it more red, but I'm fine with where this is going. It's kind of only the bugs that, like, the bug riders anyway, that have really dramatic highlighting. I didn't bother to do it on the, initial squad, because they were just kind of... I was just kind of satisfied with how they looked when they were done, but I mean, these sculpts I just really feel like will shine with some extra care and attention put into them. Future Fiverr becomes a professional rival to Captain Crunch. Oh man, no, I don't think so. I don't think so. I would prefer to be friends with Captain Crunch. I think we could get along instead. Speaking of Captain Crunch, I do need to start getting supplies to paint up the Crunch boss. I filed my taxes today like a proper adult, which is really boring, but I wanted to know what my tax return was going to be, and it's like, whew, tax returns this year are crap. It is half of what it was last year, which is just sad to see. I know people had been talking about it, and they were like, yeah, you're not going to get a particularly good tax return this year. And so I knew it was coming, but it still sucks, and it's crummy to see. I use a good portion of that as my, my fun money, hobby budget kind of money, so... Can't quite fill the coffers to overflowing with impulse purchases, but we'll still get a few. I hope you guys are ready for a shitty slapdash Adepticon haul video. Because, you can't not make that content if you buy dumb stuff at conventions. People want to know what kind of dumb stuff you bought at conventions. With a cloak the color of uncooked burgers. Man, you guys are something else. Yeah, money is what it is. It comes, it goes. You'll have days where it's here and days where it's not. Not a whole lot to be done about that. I do not control the tax codes of the government, and frankly, I think we're all for the better that I'm not the one sitting there trying to calculate that shit, because I'm terrible at math and would do a god-awful job. I'm relieved there are simply internet services that can calculate my taxes for me, because if I had to do that in the olden days, before modern technology can do your taxes for you, I would cry. That would be a horrible time of year. It's a little annoying because I own a house now, and I knew it would be a little bit more annoying to file taxes, but it wasn't too bad. Not nearly as bad as it could have been. I really wanted to try and paint "The customer is always wrong" on one of these banners, but it's just not going to fit. I think no refunds will have to do. What else do I kind of want to touch up on him? I think I need to add the pupils to his bug's eyes, obviously. That'll look pretty good. Yeah, that looks about equivalent. These look like they pretty much belong together. I think I just have to do the edge highlight on the edge of the burger part, and then we'll call this guy done. I think I might want to do just another highlight on the... just add a little bit of pink or something to these flappy guys on the banner. Do that. See how that goes. It's a little touch here and there. Something to kind of make them stand out a little bit. I don't know if you can highlight pink, purple with pink, but I'm certainly gonna try. I just feel like it'll make them look a little bit more alive. Fiverr for president. No, God, please no. Named after a number, but is bad at math. The irony. Actually named after the character in Watership Down. Fiverr the rabbit. Ironically, in the book, in the rabbit language, 4 is the highest number that rabbits can count to. Anything more than 4 is 1,000. So Fiverr's name means little thousand. Which I just think is funny and cute. I relate to that character in more ways than just being bad at math. But yeah, that's where the name comes from. Slightly inspired, I would say, by 9s in Nier Automata is definitely where I got comfortable with 5s as a nickname, so I'd say a little bit of credit to that as well. I got really emotional at the end of Nier. I don't know if that game's been out long enough and enough people have played it that you can, like, talk about the ending without fear of people being like, spoilers, you know? Hello, G-Star the First. Welcome. Fiber the rabbit, because they eat a lot of fiber. No, they don't. Jeez, these puns, these jokes. What am I gonna do with you, my core audience, and your constant joking? Am I talking about the pizza tower? I don't recall a pizza tower being in Nier Automata. Sorry. Maybe I missed that part. I'm just talking about... I was gonna talk about the end, but I don't know if that's been a game that feels like it's been out long enough that anybody who would want to play it without fear of spoilers has done so. So I'm debating talking about that and why I really enjoyed the end of it. Although initially I got the bad, like one of the alternate endings, because I liked Nines as a character so much that it didn't even occur to me that, you know, following his more rage-fueled decisions could be a bad thing that ends with bad stuff happening. So initially I did that and went, well, that was a little bit unsatisfying and somehow doesn't feel like it's the actual ending of the game. Let me see what happens if I choose the other option, which does provide a wildly different ending that still made me very emotional. One of the choices that you have to make, so disclaimer, I will be discussing mild Nier Automata spoilers right now. So click off if you don't want those, but one of the choices near the end of the game that you have to make is you're fighting like they have this kind of like Galaga mini game type thing where you like to hack into systems. You have to play as a little spaceship basically and fly around and be good at a different form of game, which I was not, but midway through doing that, you get helped by a bunch of other little spaceships so that you can get through and start defeating whatever you gotta defeat. It's been a while, so I don't remember the exact specifics, but you're able to defeat that with the help of all these other little spaceships, and then when you end the game, or just before, you're given a choice. The game basically asks if you want to help other people out by sending your little spaceship to go assist them, but in order to do so, you would have to give up everything. Your whole save file is deleted, essentially. In order to... And, like, there's no benefit to you at that point to sending out your little guy to go help everybody else. Because the game is going to end and you're going to get your conclusion either way, I believe, at that point. But I remember there was not even a moment's debate about whether I was going to do that or not, because I was so happy that all those other little spaceships had helped me. The thought of them being hundreds of other people who had also just decided to give up their save file to help people that they were never going to meet or know or be able to say thank you to or anything like that. It hit me pretty emotionally when I finished that game. Even just thinking about it, yeah, it's pretty cool. I really, really enjoyed that aspect of it. I wish I could remember the end in more specificity to tell you how that all plays out, but that particular moment was really cool. I don't know if Nier and Drakengard are part of the same universe. I'm sorry. I don't know much except for the one game that I did play. Spoiler, Pizza Face isn't flat. Pizza Tower is a different game. Lil Thousands Fiverr SoundCloud rapper. That's more funny than it has any right to be, okay? I don't appreciate you making jokes that good. Funnier than it has any right to be. I think I might just slap a little bit of purple contrast paint on that Space Marine helmet and on the little Grimace gargoyles up at the top. And I think, hopefully, that should make it look finished in my eyes. So let me see if I can find that. I know I have some purple something or other around here. So see what I can find. Hello, Chris. How's it going? Ooh, that seems pretty dried up. Let's see if there's anything left. Well, it looks, considering there's, no liquid coming out of the bottle, I'm gonna say that I might not have access to this paint anymore. We may have encountered a slight problem with this one. I don't think that one's viable anymore. Think that one might be headed for the trash bin. What is Pizza Tower about? I've never heard of it, let alone played it. I assume it's about a tower of pizzas, but far be it from me to work off an assumption. I do have some army painter speed paint, so we're gonna try that instead. That's very satisfying to shake because it has one of those little roller balls in it, so you can shake it and stuff happens. There we go. Should I dilute that with contrast medium? Almost assuredly. Am I going to? Hell no. Maybe add tap water, it's fine. That bottle was closed. It snapped when it opened. I had closed it properly, I think. I assume I had closed it properly. There's no way to tell because, you know, I don't remember the actions of past me perfectly. But there was a significant, like, it snapped open. So I presumably had snapped it closed. I think this purple will work just fine. So, you know, crisis averted. Had another purple on hand. That is the advantage of always having way more paint than you need, is if you need a paint, you have it. Feels a little, like, gummier than the contrast paint that I'm accustomed to, so that's interesting. I don't know if that's a good interesting or a bad interesting, but it certainly is. I'll have to see what these guys look like after the purple, like, dries, and see if I like it, or if I'm gonna just end up painting over it. I just didn't think that the original purple was enough. I thought, like, it got kind of too dirtied up by the wash and lost a little bit of its purple, so hopefully this brings it back, and I still like it when it's done. But I think we'll be able to set that one aside for now, and we can work on a different book. The nice part of having someone have built these for me is that that person was kind enough to put magnets on them. So I can just stick them to my little camera handle, which is actually quite cute. They look like they're just marching across it. I'll have to snap a picture when I'm done here. Show what that looks like to you guys. In Pizza Tower, I'm assuming there's a chef named Peppino Spaghetti, and there's a giant tower right next to his pizza restaurant. And Pizza Face, the king of Pizza Tower, wants to blow up Peppino's restaurant with a laser. So Peppino needs to climb Pizza Tower and rescue the toppings so he can finally defeat Pizza Face. That's kind of awesome. That's a great plot for a game. I'm Googling it now. Oh, I don't love the art style. From the one little picture that I've seen. Hang on, I don't know why sometimes my default search engine is set to Yahoo. I never want it to be Yahoo. Stop trying to make it Yahoo. Okay, other images. Yeah, the style's fine. It's not my personal preference, but it's not terrible. It kind of looks like it's leaning into that old Pajama Sam, Putt-Putt Saves the Zoo kind of look at times. It does look very silly, so I like that. Oh, that's nice. I'm glad you like the art style. Tons of different art styles out there to appeal to tons of different folks. That's kind of why I'm leaning more towards Stray being the next game I pick up, because it seems to have cats and robots and some kind of city pop lighting that I could really get into. I've started making a list of all the models that I'm allowed to buy for myself at Adepticon, and Manfred von Karstein is one of them. Been wanting to make a conversion for him for quite some time, and I do have a Soulblight Gravelord's army. They're not food themed, so don't like riot, you know, don't cancel me for something I painted well before I had the channel. They're not painted with the box art, though. Some part of me wants to prime over them and do a different color scheme, but they honestly look really cool. They're not the colors or the style that I would choose nowadays, I don't think, but I think they came out really neat, just the same. I can show you if you're interested. They're right behind me. I think I've shown them on the stream once or twice before. I really need to remember to, like, photograph things and take pictures of them so that people can see some of my other armies. It's just, it took me so long for me to get comfortable with my style as a painter and with the kind of candy themes and learning different techniques and materials that now I look back a lot of my older stuff and I don't think it's as me as the stuff that I'm making now because I just didn't have the experience to make everything the way that I wanted it to. Like, I certainly couldn't have done the knight that I just did the same way when I was starting out. It makes me hopeful to see what it could look like when I paint a knight, you know, three years from now. Like, what is that gonna look like? If I keep practicing freehand, like, where am I gonna get with it? It's quite exciting to think about. But I am kind of thinking about doing something with vampires again. That new Warcry box has me proper tempted. Samurai vampires are pretty cool. And I really like that one that's, like, got a hood and a little bat friend and is about to turn into, like, a werewolf. That one's pretty cool. Plus, I've always wanted to paint a zombie dragon. You want to see him? Okay. Hang on. Let me finish painting the dots on this guy's leg and I'll grab him. Just run out of paint there. What do you want to see? You want to see, like a Blood Knight? I've got, Laukavai. I've got just some regular, like, skeleton troops. I'll grab a couple. Let's see what we've got here. Give me just a second, because I have to fish him out of my display case. Alright. Show you what we've got here. Show you what we're working with. Oh, Titan out of actual candy. I don't know about that. That'd be a funny project, though. Alright. So, I remember I was trying to go for, like, very much a glowing, ghostly kind of look for the actual vampires. So this is a Blood Knight. I was going for like a frozen lake kind of look with the basing. So you can see the beach sand and then the water. And they've got like this dull kind of purple armor. Red and gold. Probably a bit too many colors, if I'm honest, but... And then, of course, red base rims, because who just has a basic black base rim? So that's what the Blood Knights look like. This is... I think these are called Fell Bats? Or Dire Bats? I don't know, it's been a while since I played the army. You can see I did a weird texture pattern on the wings. A little bit more grimmer and darker than my stuff is nowadays. Here's a, like, basic skeleton guy. He's got the little banner. Come on now, camera. There we go. Yeah. So I really liked that teal color as like a robe color. I thought it looked really good. And then I think she's called like Lauka Vibe, Mother of Nightmares. That's her. She big. She was one of the first real big models that I painted, and I was really proud of her hair because I managed to get that like white kind of Bride of Frankenstein streak in it. I was really happy with that. Her face isn't as detailed as I would go nowadays. Like, it's nice to be able to look at this and be like, yeah, I can see why, you know, I was satisfied with it then, but I could do better now. So, yeah, that's kind of the whole squad right there. But that is what my Soulblight Gravelord's army looks like. Haunted Mansion Vampire. Yeah, it does kind of have a Haunted Mansion vibe to it. I could totally see that being the vibe. I actually don't quite remember what my original inspiration was. Thank you. I'm glad you think they're cool. I'm gonna take a couple of moments to place them safely back in their case now. Before I, you know, drop something on them. Slay. I like vampires. I should probably, you know, film some of my armies doing little turnarounds and show off some of the other stuff that I just kind of have or have painted a while ago. I think that my Adeptus Mechanicus, it would be nice to show off those because, frankly, I spent so long painting the stupid checkers on them that I should get some recognition for it. This is, I'll actually show these on stream right now. Maybe I just want some validation for my poor life choices. But this was my, and the reason I don't paint Adeptus Mechanicus, like I didn't expand this army too far, is because I decided to do their robes in checker pattern. I really like the snow bases, they were fun. But, you can imagine how much time it took to get all of them painted with all of these tiny checkers. The answer is too long. Especially the flying ones. The Patraxi or whatever they're called. Those were a bitch and a half. Maryland checkerboard, yeah. I guess they do kind of have Maryland vibes in a way. That didn't occur to me initially, but I can see it. All right, let's have enough have had enough of the distractions and get back to what we were actually here for. Sorry about that. Every now and again you got to show off your work and be kind of proud of it. I think that's just good for the soul, you know? All right. It is still nice to look back on those projects, though, and know that even then, I was not going to be painting by the box art. No matter how stupidly complex the color scheme I had chosen for myself, it was not going to be the box art, gosh darn it. We couldn't stand for that. What a terrible thing that would have been, you know? Of course, nowadays, I can see, every now and again, I see a box art scheme that I actually like. Like, for some of the new Seraphon that are going to be coming out, one of the color schemes I remember them showing off was kind of like this blue ghostly glow kind of one that was in the announcement for them when they showed it on like Warhammer Fest or whatever it was. I don't remember what particular celebration of announcing models, what late night Warhammer QVC we were all watching together, but I did like that blue color scheme quite a bit. I thought it looked very nice. I am allergic to box art colors, you're correct. It's how I end up coming up with silly stuff like this. One day I'll paint the box art of something. I'll just have to find something that I really, really like the box art of. And go, you know what? I don't think I could come up with anything better than that. I just haven't found that, whatever it is. I'm sure it's out there. Maybe Games Workshop will finally release a Zote army, and then I'll have to paint them just like the Zotes on the package. Although probably not. I like how my own weird little Zotes turn out. God, I want a new Zote model. I've already painted the two that I can get my hands on easily. The new Seraphon, they do look really cool. I think everybody who loves dinosaurs in Jurassic Park is going to be really happy about them having those, like, raptor guys. Those are cool. I was tempted by them for a second, but I was like, you know what? I don't think I need another horned army, and I'd never be able to choose what color to paint them. But I'm glad, because that range really needed a decent refresh. It's kind of tragic that Skaven didn't get the same treatment, because I feel like if you give me some really good, like, Secret of Nim, Redwall Vermin kind of Skaven, I'd be all about painting those. But I just look at the current Skaven sculpts and I find them very, very uninspiring. Dimetrodon, that's what they are. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, the new Finn one that they announced today, that one's pretty cool. Oh, nice, Rothian, that's very cool. I didn't know those were your main army. You must be super excited then. I hope that the prices of them are reasonable so you can get a ton. Get some fun new painting projects on the desk. It's always nice to have a new model that you really, really look forward to painting. And honestly, I have my baby knights that I'm working on that I look forward to always working on them. I've started putting down some base coats and I'm happy with how they're turning out. So, yeah, I'm excited about how those are gonna turn out, and it'll be nice when they're done, because then I feel like I'll have a nice little force of knights that I can photograph, and that will look really cool all standing together. Like, they'll all kind of look like a proper army. I still need to base the mint chocolate chip one, and, you know, there's obviously still a good amount of work to do. But it's starting to come together as not just a couple of cool knights, but a cohesive vision and a potential army, so I'm excited for people to see that and kind of, you know, what their response to it as a whole is going to be. The Strawberry Knight really got so much positive response that I'm very optimistic about my next few. I think that's a good thing. Ooh, metallic Seraphon would be really cool. Clearly they're dinosaurs, so Werther's originals, because old people. Dimetrodon. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't pronounce it correctly. I'm not a paleontologist, okay? You can't expect me to know all the dinosaur shit. I don't know all the dinosaur shit. Seraphon are cool, though. Like I said, I'm really glad that they're getting the range refresh that they needed. I know they're probably going to still keep some of those old kits. Like, I don't think they announced fully new, like, just base skink figures, which is what they need almost more than anything else, but the new Saurus ones that they have are cool. They got Lord Croak recently enough that it feels kind of silly that they put out 2 more, you know, giant fat frog guys, but hey, I'm sure that Seraphon players aren't complaining that they get another big frog guy to paint. So far be it for me to voice any complaints about that. I am excited because everybody's saying that they're almost surely... Hi, Hector. Do you have a special announcement? Do you have some breaking news for us tonight? You do? As I was saying, the rumors are that they're gonna announce 10th edition at Adepticon. So, I'll be interested in that. People are saying it's gonna be Dark Angels versus Tyranids, I think is the rumor, which I hope it's not. I don't really play Dark Angels or Tyranids, so I guess safe for my wallet, but I can't fake excitement about a release like that, okay? I'm not really into either of those. Okay, Hector. Maybe you like Tyranids, but I don't. What is it, buddy? Did you find a shiny piece of paper on the ground? You did. You want so much attention. Why, buddy? What's up? Love a big frog guy, yep. Wow, okay. Everybody's chatting. Chuck E. Cheese, Skaven, yeah, that would be great. Yeah, I am interested to see what their launch box will look like. Loud little guy. Yep, that's you, Hector. They're saying you're loud. How do you respond? Nothing. He just wants attention. He knows that I've been streaming for over an hour, so he's like, that's an hour you spent distracted from giving me any attention whatsoever. I think I need to remedy that. He's so cute. So hard to resist, because he comes over here looking this cute. It's like, yep. What am I supposed to do about that, huh? I've got minis to paint, buddy. I've got minis to paint. That's fair, Soda. I understand. Sometimes it's better when it is something that you just don't care about, because then you can save your money and not have to buy a whole new army and a bunch of new projects. So that's fair. I'm gonna pick Hector up and see if he'll sit in my lap and maybe calm down with his obsessive need for attention. Which is fair. I mean, he's a cat, so they like attention. Oh, come on, buddy. No, you don't want to be picked up? You just want to be pet? Well, that's not going to work. Welcome back. You missed my cat. He's prowling for attention. You only hope it's Tyrannid, so you maybe get a Tyrannid kill team in WD? Ugh. Alright, Hector. We've got you on my lap now. Got you on my lap. Ugh. This is now the Hector show, where Hector will paint a miniature for everybody. Hello guys, I am Hector. I'm going to pick up the little paintbrush. I'm going to dip it in the paint over here, and then we are going to put it on the miniature, like so. Yes, this is very good. We paint the mini, we do 2 thin coats, we wash the mini off in water, which should be here where I can reach it, but it is not. And then we continue slowly layering up the mini till we achieve the desired effect. See, let's paint this one together, buddy. Yeah. There we go. Right in there. Good job. You're a professional. Yeah. Good job, Hector. Who says cats can't paint miniatures? I know you also want to eat the miniature, which is less helpful. Here, I'm just going to clean up that messy highlight that we did. That was my bad, not yours. Everybody's going to go nuts for that, I'm sure. Thank you for helping. Thanks, buddy. Ah, okay. WD is White Dwarf. Can't believe Hector paints better than I do. I know, right? If I could just get him to sit down and finish his miniatures, he could win a golden demon. You're really getting in there, inspecting the detail, but... What you doing, silly? Hang on, let me raise the camera so that this chaos can be seen more clearly by everybody. There we go. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yep. Where are you going, buddy? Nope, not onto the desk. Oh, okay. You want to chew on the end of the brush. Well, to be fair, I do that too. Mm-hmm. Hey, no biting that. No biting that. You can't lick the paint either, bud. I don't know how Brent can get his cats to sit nicely in his lap while he paints. You have also contributed a phenomenal amount of cat hair for only having been here for a couple of seconds. Sorry, this may have turned into a Hector-centric stream because he can't control himself, you know? He just loves Warhammer so much. Ooh. Okay, no, you can't sit on the desk. You can sit near the desk. You can sit in my lap, but you can't actually sit on the desk. There's too much potential for mayhem there. Sorry, this has become the Hector show simply because he demands it to be. I don't know if you've ever tried to ignore the demands of a cat before, but it's very difficult. Especially one as persistent as Hector. Say hello to your many fans. He's purring. He's not meowing, though. Oh, you're so baby. It has always been the Hector show. That's true. It is Hector's world, and I'm just living in it. This is the same way that I have to play video games, by the way. Like, there's even less room for me to dodge having a cat crawling all over my lap while trying to play Dark Souls. Can't you just settle down, little boy? Little baby boy? Nope. Anytime I put my hands near you, you're gonna try and lick them. I don't know if you can see how much cat hair is now on my hand. But it's certainly a detriment to every model in a 3 to 5 foot radius. This is now Hector Catnip Miniatures. It's okay. Hector's got more charisma than I do for presenting. I don't know that I'm going to be able to stream for too much longer, simply because Hector demands... Oh, are we done? Okay. I guess we're done. I guess I can go back to painting miniatures now. Sorry about that, folks. No, that was a rather lengthy cat interruption. He did help us get some highlights on there, though, so... He did contribute. We'll have to co-credit, you know? He painted just as much as I did on these. He's wandered off to go do something more important, like eat dinner or splash water in the water bowl. You know, just important cat things. Listen, this hand is far more distinctive than a generic GW hand, okay? We've got cat tattoos and candy, alright? This is a tattoo of my cat, Lobster Thermidor. Eventually I'm gonna get a tattoo of Hector and a tattoo of Achilles. But, you know, money and time are both things that you need for a tattoo that I have not had in ample supply recently, so... I don't remember which of those was the white that I could actually use, so we're gonna get some new white in here. Hector leaves to take down criminals as Batcat? That would be funny. I don't think he would make a particularly good superhero. He tends to run away in the face of danger rather than face it head on. Yeah, we know those hands anywhere. That's not creepy at all. I do think it's a shame that GW isn't letting their presenters, you know, present. I wasn't ever subscribed to Warhammer Plus because I just never thought that they had enough content on there to justify a subscription, so I was just gonna kind of wait a few years and then get a week's free trial and binge everything, basically. Like, I would have been interested to support it if I felt like there was enough content on the platform, but even now, like, what, 2 years later, I still don't think there's more than a week or two of for me, realistically, I don't think there's more than a day or two of content up there that I would actually watch. So, couldn't justify subscribing. But Louise Sugden's masterclasses was actually one of the things that I was most looking forward to. So, knowing that that won't have nearly as much Louise in it is disappointing. She's my all-time favorite painter. I would really love if she branched out and started making her own YouTube content. I think that would be really cool. She has her own TikTok that's really stellar. It's pretty funny. So obviously I can't speculate. I don't know her and I've never spoken to her or met her or anything, but if she's considering becoming a content creator for her, like, on her own, I'd be her first freaking subscriber. I can only speculate, hopefully, but time will tell as to what actually happens. Yeah, I don't really think there's enough of a, like, I just don't think Warhammer in and of itself is a big enough IP that it can sustain its own streaming platform. I think it needs to be folded into a different one. Like, it might have been a contribution to another, like, if they were like, oh, and Warhammer content exclusively on Hulu, like, then I might have been more inclined to subscribe to Hulu than Netflix or something like that. But, I mean, even Henry Cavill's, like, Warhammer project isn't going to be on Warhammer Plus. I think that speaks a lot to the, lack of sustainability in that platform. They must have invested a significant amount of time and effort into it, because I can't imagine that it's turning the numbers that they're expecting it to. It's gonna be interesting to see how this whole thing with the Netflix password sharing turns out as well. Like, I'm hopeful that it will kind of go the way that the OGL did for Wizards of the Coast, and people will just simply stop subscribing to Netflix, and they'll have to kind of set a precedent of not cracking down on that. Then maybe we'll get a little bit of power back in the streaming universe that it feels like has kind of been lost. Hey, if Louise wants to steal my channel, I will cede it to her. Like, she is a far more talented painter than I, and could definitely teach you how to paint candy far better than I could. She has put many, many more hours into becoming a very, very talented painter than I have, so I think you would be better served by her as an instructor of these techniques than me. However, I don't think she's going to do that, nor does she have any interest in this little channel, so I think you're safe and don't have anything to worry about on that front. You think James Workshop would have a meltdown if she started her own channel? I mean, she'd probably have to, like, quit being a Warhammer presenter if that was the case, so maybe it's not really a matter of if she's going to, but if a contract, like, when, a matter of when the contract runs out. I don't know, though. Please do not think that I have any kind of insider knowledge. This is just a hope. This is just a very vague hope that I would like to see. Hi, Hector. Please do not bite my foot while I am painting. that would be both painful and unhelpful to getting these accomplished. Because I think we've just finished a third bug, leaving only 2 left to go. However, Hector does make a good point, in that it's been almost 2 hours, so I don't know how much longer we're going to stream for, but we're going to get a little bit more work done. It would be nice to hit the 2-hour mark. No! The Henry Cavill show is not going to be on Warhammer Plus. He's developing it with my arch nemesis, Jeff Bezos. So I will never see it, because I refuse to purchase anything from Amazon or subscribe to Amazon Prime. In my long-standing one-sided war with Jeff Bezos, I will never consume any of his products. Hector doesn't support Amazon either, do you, Hector? I said, do you, Hector? Thank you. Ow, your little claws are in my foot. Please do not put them there. That is painful. Hector just thinks he could do these miniatures faster and better than I could. And he's right. He's right, but you're getting me. I'll never see it legally. So clearly I won't ever see it at all, because who would do anything illegal in order to see a program? That's just silly. I would be forcing Amazon to lose billions in revenue. How could I steal from the capitalists, you know? They embezzled and inherited and nepotismed their way to that money so hard. How could I stand to take that away from them? Hector would win Golden Demon Slapchop style, because if I said a cat painted this miniature and had video of him doing it, how are you not going to create a special cat painted award? Like, hello, that's the best thing that's ever happened in the Warhammer hobby. Cat obsessed with Warhammer paints a Space Marine. Hector, you're causing so much chaos beneath the desk. Please stop. Please stop, buddy. You want to open that door in my hobby desk? Just so you can rip something out and run off with it. So that I have to chase you. So that I have to stop painting. So that I have to stop painting. Oh. You just don't want me to finish these projects today, huh? You just don't want me to finish them. No, sir. Hector paints Forge World Sanguinius. I don't know that Blood Angels would be Hector's army of choice. I don't think so, huh, buddy? What kind of minis would you paint if you could paint miniatures? I don't think Necromunda bugs are quite your style either. You really do look like a little painter sitting here. It's very cute. This is the perspective of Hector, the Warhammer YouTuber. Hi guys, welcome back to another Hector Catnip Miniatures video. In today's episode, I'm painting McDonald's bugs, because apparently I don't get fed and have tons and tons of attention until these stupid bugs are done. An important first step is to knock over your wash and to test out the Reikland Flesh Shade to make sure that the GW bottles are still stupid. They are. Then you want to sniff the miniature and you want to chew on the knife of your other miniature so that it gets authentic weathering. That's just a free tip from Hector to you. Any good cat painter knows that weathering is free when you have teeth. Also, he slipped and fell. I caught him by his little shoulders, and he is going back beneath the desk now to cause less chaos. But there you have another invaluable Hector tutorial, simply because he will not leave me alone. Garfield Tyrannid, Hector the Collector, Hector Hammer. Subscribe now to Hector Hammer Plus for exclusive content. I do have a video I can put up on my Patreon of Hector being stuck beneath a blanket and Achilles jumping on top of him. That's actually a pretty funny video. I didn't know quite what to do with it, but yeah, maybe I'll put that up as some Patreon exclusive content. It's pretty funny. He was doing good for a while there, you know, but the chaos is just too strong with him. He really wants me to settle down so that we can watch TV together. So I was gonna try and get a 2-hour stream in, but, you know, when you have a little drama king, there's only so much you can do about it. So I think I'll start closing up here. We're doing pretty well. I mean, we've got 3 bugs finished in terms of painting, and they look great. I'm really happy with them. I'll have to get a photo, but I just think they look goofy, they look cool. Super satisfied with how they turned out. They're gonna be a blast to, hopefully, play a fun game with. And, the basing shouldn't be too hard for them. I'm hoping that it's, you know, not too bad. And, yeah. We got to see Hector try and do a painting tutorial, which I think was more fun than any of us were expecting. But he is a demanding little creature, and he needs his attention now, or he's simply not going to stop bothering me for it. Chew your miniatures, takes notes. Achilles is more into collecting Yu-Gi-Oh! Achilles just likes to bite things. So whatever Warhammer faction is the bitiest, probably Khorne. He would be on the blood for the blood god end of things. Anyway, thank you so much, everybody, for being here. I really enjoyed having everyone, come hang out. You guys are awesome. Thanks for dealing with the technical issues at the beginning of the chat. I hope you all have a great rest of your week. I'll try and stream again soon. Maybe when Hector's a little less rowdy, because he's a rowdy boy. But until then, everybody be kind to each other. Have a, you know, survive the capitalism hellscape we're all trapped in. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye!